This is Jay Harwich with a very special edition of Amazing Mets Alumni Podcast. Since I started this a couple of years ago, I wanted to interview a true baseball Mets fan. Gary Green is the first fan we've interviewed, and Gary, you own 3 baseball teams. You own Baseball America. You're a big Mets fan. Grew up in Long Island. How did you start with the Mets and not the Yankees? I know you're a gigantic Mets fan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And thanks for having me. This morning I feel honored to be the first fan.
Yeah.
So, my dad was a Brooklyn Dodger fan.
Right.
And when your dad's a Brooklyn Dodger fan, the Brooklyn having left, I became a National League fan, and the Giants having left, and I became a Met fan. It was pretty automatic.
I was a diehard Willie Mays fan. So I was on the other side. One story I got to start up with you. I know Darryl is a close friend of yours.
Yes.
Tell me the story about his '83 rookie years that was stolen. How did you get it back to him?
Yeah, so I am a pretty big Met collector of memorabilia. I have some stuff down that I loaned into the museum downstairs. And I had bought Darryl's Rookie of the Year award at auction from, I believe it was Sotheby's. And so I had it on my wall, and we had hired Darryl through Steiner Sports a few years back we had a big holiday party for my cleaning company. So we had about 1,000 people there, and Darryl signing autograph, and I think John Starks is sitting next to him.
Right.
And my friend Mike Bebon, who's there, says, "Hey, Darryl, Gary owns your Rookie of the Year award." So Darryl doesn't know me. He knows me as the guy that hired him to do the show,
right.
the party. And so he stands up and towers over me in the way that Darryl does and says, "Where'd you get that? That was stolen from my mother's house."
Really? So what did you say to that?
I said, "I bought it at auction."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, I'd like to buy that from you. And I'm a Met fan, and I think I'm a good person." And I said instinctively, "That doesn't belong to me. It belongs to you. I can't make you pay for that. I'm going to give it to you." So we exchanged calls over the next couple months, and I was at Shea Stadium at the time with my company, and he came by, and I handed it to him, and he looked me in the eye, and he's like, "Look, everybody always wants something from me. Like, you're giving this to me from your heart. Whenever you need me, I'm there for you to help you with business. Personally, you let me know." And
That's how the friendship started.
Yeah, it's how it started. And he helped pitch the cleaning contract for the Mets, and he helped us get that, and he's helped me with so many other things. It's been a blessing.
If this works, I think a special friend wanted to say hello to you right now. If we can make this work by phone. Mr. Strawberry.
Yes.
Say hello to a friend of yours, Mr. Green.
Where is he?
Right here. Hey, what's up?
What are you doing?
Good. I'm sitting here with Jay at Citi Field.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I heard you were doing an interview about yourself. Why are you doing an interview about you?
Yeah, because I'm a baseball guy, and I know you and our relationship, and it's all good stuff. I get to brag about our relationship and what a great guy you are.
Darryl, we talked about how we returned your trophy, your Rookie of the Year award to you.
I know. You returned it to me. I was really awesome. I was so amazed because I was so heartbroken for a long time that somebody had took me out.
Like Gary would say, not many people would give it back to you without asking for something in return.
I know. And he not only gave me that, he gave me the other trophy too, but the home run trophy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good man. He's a good man, and I just wanted to say, make me just say hello to him. I know you got a plane to catch. I just wanted not to keep you. And listen, be safe, and I hope to see you soon.
Well, I got a few minutes if you need me.
Yeah, just tell me, what did you like about, I know you came to the Munson Award. Gary does a lot of great work with kids, and you introduced him there. What made you want to do that, Straw?
Well, not even that. I mean, I just think, he's crazy good. We get to have really good, crazy fun, he does a lot of good things, and down in Omaha where his team is. I've been down there with him a few times, and we were able to do some really good stuff. And I love that about him, that, he steps outside of, what everybody thinks he should be, but he's different, compared to a lot of other people, and he loves to give back. And those kind of things are, what's important to me, and very attractive when you see somebody like that. And that's what Gary does, and he do so many wonderful things, to make a difference in other people's lives.
Gary, I know cancer research is close to your heart, and Darryl's a two-time survivor. Talk about your work. I know you've done with cancer research, you run McDonald House, and I know Darryl's really involved in, pancreatic cancer, stuff like that.
Well, my mom's a cancer survivor, and I know that if you live long enough, you end up with cancer. It's just the way it is. So I can't think of a better cause to work towards. And when it comes to the Ronald McDonald House, to help out the families who are here in New York and their children are going through the hardcore cancer treatment, and to bring them to Citi Field to give them a day off. It's my most gratifying game of the year and day of the year when I'm able to do that. And it hasn't happened because of COVID the past couple of years, but we're looking to get back on track for that.
Yeah. Darryl, speak about what you've done with cancer, two-time survivor. You do a lot of stuff about root protection and prevention. What's your feeling about it?
Early prevention, I've done a lot of things, but it's so funny, that the fact, I remember Gary doing it with the Ronald McDonald House, and I did stuff when I was playing the match in my days with the Ronald McDonald House. So, and, here it is, many years later, me and him become friends, and he's involved with that, and the work that he does with that to, bring kids out to the ball game, which is really cool. And I like I said, I've done a lot of work with cancer research in different organizations, because my mother died at the age of 55 and my sister died at the age of 51, and I had cancer twice and lost my left kidney in my second surgery. So it's near and dear to my heart to always stay involved. And, but today it's not about me. Today it's about Gary and what he's doing, and that's what's important. I mean, to have a friend like him, I can't even describe it, because he's just real, and he believes in giving back, and that's so dear to my heart, and to be able to give back, for cancer and all these other different organizations that I do.
Stuart, you're a good man. I'll let you go. Be safe. Take your plane.
All right. That's good. Have fun. Good luck.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Draw. I'll speak to you later. All right, travel safe.
So, when did you become a bona fide Met fan? What's your first memory of?
First memory was losing the World Series in 1973.
Yeah.
And I think they pitched Seaver on short rest. They should have saved him for the seventh game, and we lost to the Oakland A's. I remember that was my first memory as a Met fan.
A lot of the guys always say that no reflection on Yogi, that if Gil was alive, it might have been a different.
I've read that. Yeah, I read that.
And so, did you? 86. You were older. You were about in your 20s, right?
Yeah. I came back from University of Vermont in the heart of New England, and went to Game 6, and was in the upper deck. And my father took us, and he was notorious for leaving games early to beat the traffic. And for some reason, that game he decided to stay. Otherwise, it would probably be the biggest regret he ever had to leave.
I'm glad you did, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, tell me, how did you get involved? You own 3 minor teams in Montgomery, Richmond, and Omaha. How did you get involved with that?
Sure. Well, my partner and I, Larry Botel, were sitting around one day, and we have our day jobs. He's in real estate, and I own the building services company, and just said in passing, I'd like to own a minor league team or two one day. Ultimately a major league team, but a minor league team. And so we just hired a broker and started looking at everything in the eastern half of the U.S., and we went from Asheville to Memphis to Staten Island, and we ended up in a team in Norwich, Connecticut, and partnered with Lou DiBella, the boxing promoter.
Right.
And the team wasn't doing well in Norwich, and we moved the team to Richmond, Virginia. And within a year, we were named Richmonders of the Year. We brought baseball back to Richmond because the Braves had stolen baseball from Richmond the year before.
Right.
And we were AA, and Richmond was AAA. I mean, with the Braves. And so that was the start, and we loved it so much. We hired the broker to find us another deal. He found us another deal within a month that was in Omaha. And I didn't know where Omaha was, but I knew that if I was interested, I could meet with Warren Buffett. And the businessman in my head said people pay $3 million for that meeting, so I'm going to take the meeting. So I met with Mr. Buffett. I was all ready to negotiate with the greatest capitalist of our generation. I had my facts and figures. I sat down on his couch, and we talked baseball for an hour and a half and nothing about the deal. And at the end of it, he stood up, put out his hand, and said, "I'll sell the team to you." And it was that moment I realized that wasn't a business meeting. That was a baseball test to see my knowledge and love for the game that I passed.
Because he didn't want to move the team out of Omaha, right? And that's what I read.
No, he owned the team because the team was playing at Rosenblatt Stadium where the College World Series is. Rosenblatt was falling apart, and he knew the Omaha would lose the College World Series unless there was a tenant day in and day out to help take care of it. Yeah.
You know, Baseball America, how did that happen?
Sure. So February 2017, we closed on Baseball America. I don't think it would be around anymore if we didn't buy it, because we very quickly had to change it from a print publication to more of a digital platform, and we've been able to do that. And the same headwinds that baseball has as far as fans getting older and trying to become younger, we have the same thing, and we've been doing that through social media and through our digital platform. And we have the best in class editorial. When we lose journalists, we lose them to major league teams, not to other publications. So we're doing great with that. We're independent from MLB, but MLB loves us.
And you branched off before you produced the thing for ESPN with Doc and Darryl.
Yes. So the Doc and Darryl story, Radical Media approached me. I had a family member there, and they said, "Look, we've been trying to put this 30 for 30 together for over a dozen years. You know these guys, can you put it together?" So I went to Doc and I went to Darryl, and I said, "Hey, I know these guys. They will tell the story the right way." And they trusted me enough to allow me to put that together. And I work with Judd Apatow, who is a famous producer,
Sure.
and we worked towards doing it. And we put together a great piece. Although the 4-part piece on ESPN that came out a few years later, I think I might like that one a little bit more.
Well, it was different. You know,
You were in that one.
I was in that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little. I better not tell my story how I was in it. Let me just stay with Doc and Darryl. You
Sure.
know them differently than other guys, and the thing I get, I've been with the Mets for 42 years. When they talk about the two guys, see, well, they should have been Hall of Famers, both of them. Maybe not be true, but you know what? What both of them are doing now, don't you think it's even better than getting in the Hall of Fame? I mean, Darryl's traveling around the country, speaking to kids about drugs. Doc is doing this thing with high school. And isn't it it's maybe a different kind of fame than what they could have been?
Absolutely. I think at a certain point you have to, if you're going to have a healthy and happy life, you got to come to peace with the past. And for Darryl, I don't think he would have had it any other way. I don't think 500 home runs or the Hall of Fame means anything compared to saving lives and making a difference. And I sat with him in a penitentiary about 3 months ago with some convicts in Omaha, and you could hear a pin drop, and some of them had tears in their eyes. Darryl coming to visit them was probably the highlight of their year, and each of them just seemed to pull something from it, and I shook their hands, and it was amazing. And then taking him to meet college kids and taking him to a recovery service where it was all addicts in recovery, and seeing what he could do, to him it's much more powerful than a spot in the Hall of Fame.
He was on our all 40-year team, and I actually went down to prison and interviewed him there too. But I'm so proud of these guys. Maybe I'm I'm just kind of tired of it, but they gotta know what they're doing now. You know them. Like, I was so impressed when I was the Much Ado with Darryl came to present you. I mean, a lot of guys, how much did it cost me to go there? It shows what kind of guy you're.
No, never for him. Not with me. No.
It's a good friendship. Is there any particular other guys you're close to through the years, Gary?
I lived up the block from Tug McGraw.
Right.
And that was my first brush with closeness and greatness with the Mets. And I remember going with his wife and his kids to the game and waiting outside the locker room at Shea Stadium.
Right.
And that was such a thrill. So I think Tug and Darryl are probably my two favorite Mets of all time.
I got to know him a little bit before he passed. He would have fit right in with the '86 Mets, don't you think?
I never thought of that, but you're absolutely right.
He would. Now, with all your traveling around, you still manage to get here 20-25 Ks?
Yeah, we have a suite here, and my cleaning company, Alliance Building Services, does all the janitorial here. So I'm at about 25 games a year, and sometimes I'll show up in the third or fourth inning. Sometimes I'll leave in the sixth inning, but I always make it a point to try to be here as much as possible.
How do you balance out all your travel with your minor league teams, Baseball America, the Mets thing here. I mean, you portion it each couple of days here or there.
I'm really focused in Omaha. I travel to Montgomery and Richmond a little bit, but I'm really focused on Omaha for the baseball team and the soccer team, and really being here with the Mets. And the toughest part to balance is now I have 3 kids and I have a new 16-month-old.
Right.
And being home for her is really important. So that's the toughest thing.
And then we were talking before, you were part of the Billy Joel film, The Last Day, and that had been a big thrill for you, right?
Last Play at Shea, yeah, that was. I just watched that last month. What a great documentary, the way it weaves in Mets history and New York history and Billy Joel history. It's really well done.
I know you have a little bit of relationship with Mr. Cohn, with Steve Cohn. What are your thoughts on?
You know, I met him once at his house last year when we had that charity event.
Right.
And, you know, amazing art collection. His wife, Alex, is amazing. And what a great energy to come through with ownership and just take over, and such a positive influence. And he's from Great Neck. I'm from Great Neck. But really, I've only met once. I'd love to get to know him better.
But, I mean, you got to feel like he's a long-time observer. The team is going in the right way. Everything is going in the right way.
Absolutely. Team's going the right way. He cares. He cares about winning.
Gary, so how did you come to clean, your company clean the Empire State Building, the Yankee Stadium, and here? And Darryl really was a big player in the beginning?
And yes, we were pitching. We were 15 companies pitching the Mets. And Fred Wilpon knows my dad and was able to arrange the meeting. And he said, look, you're one of 15 companies, do your best. And we were the first one to pitch it. And we ended up, with no stadium experience, landing in 2009 the Mets and the Yankees. Now we're focused on the Mets. We're cleaning for the Mets.
And I know your company was involved after the 9/11 attacks, did a lot of good stuff around the city.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, that was an important time for us. And the security, we felt like we were really protecting New York. At the time, you'll remember that nobody knew if there was going to be another shoe to drop with a terrorist attack.
Right.
And so we felt like we were part of the reason why New York kept safe. We cleaned up downtown. It was not an easy cleanup, and there was just so much debris and human loss of life, and what our cleaners had to go through and security people need to go through. I'm really most proud of that time in New York. And when I go down to the 9/11 museum, and combine that with being here at Shea for the Piazza Home Run, I definitely get chills even talking about it. You were there that night? Yeah, I was there that night.
So I'm sitting in the press box, and when Mike came up in the 8th inning, I said to a couple of I didn't particularly do a home run, but you knew something special was going to happen, and for the first time, I've been here 42 years.
Wow.
We had a ring, All-Star games, but for me, being a part of that 2001 team was just something special, because we gave back like your company did. We gave back to the city that night,
Yes.
And in addition to the home, the visits at Ground Zero, and so what did you think when Mike hit the home run?
I mean, didn't everybody just elevate off the ground?
Yeah.
I mean, it was incredible, and that was going to a game. That was the first gathering, and again, you didn't feel secure because you didn't know what other terrorism had been planned. And, the concert for 9/11 in Madison Square Garden was right around the same time. That was incredible. And just being in a public place and surviving it, I don't know, it was hard to not think about catastrophe.
Yeah, I mean, and the Yankee, how did you wind up in Yankee Stadium, too, the same way?
We pitched it both at the same time. And a great story is the Mets said, hey, we want you to be our company. And even though you've never cleaned the stadium before. And then we didn't hear from the Yankees for like a month. So my partner, Michael Rodriguez, gets a call from the Yankees, and they say, we'd like you to come in, and we'd like you to do our cleaning contract. And Michael says, hey, just want you to know that we're cleaning for the Mets too. And they said, it's either going to be us or the Mets. And we said, look, we're Met fans. We're going to clean for the Mets. And so they folded. We came in. They said, how are you going to clean both stadiums? I said, I think they're both about 10 or 12 or 15 miles from each other. There's 10 overlapping dates the first season, and we're going to get it done. So we ended up cleaning for them and cleaning for the Mets, and ultimately we had to make a choice because it was too much, and we stayed with the Mets, obviously.
Here we have a mutual friend, Omar Minaya.
Yes, I love Omar.
He's got a big heart, good man. I mean, I just spoke to him this morning. His son's on his way to an NBA tryout camp to Omar's a good baseball guy. He's
Yes, he is.
And how did you first come in contact with Omar?
I met him just having a suite at Citi Field and having a partner like Michael. He meets everybody.
Yes.
So Omar has come by the suite so many times, and he's a true baseball treasure.
And he's got
really
a big
is.
heart too.
Huge heart.
He
And
loves people.
Yeah.
And you know what I like about Omar when he was a GM here. I mean, he went around the office. He said hello to the secretaries. I mean, he was a people person. You know, a local guy from Queens. He used to sneak in here at Shea Stadium to watch the games. But Gary, I appreciate. Listen, this is great. You know, I just wanted to do something different with a bona fide Met fan and baseball aficionado, and hope you enjoyed it. Wish you best of luck, and hopefully we get another World Championship this year.
Absolutely. It's going to happen at Citi Field one of these years. Why not
I
this
hope
year?
so, Gary.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Gary. I appreciate your time.